made it?
Lack of execution. Just not transferring over practice onto the game field. And that's my job to get those guys ready to do that. So good week of practice so far, but they need to start translating what they're doing out here onto the game day. But yeah, just execution.
Do you feel like since there's 3 of them battling for certain spots that might be tougher on guys getting a rhythm?
No. The one guy has kind of had a certain situation kick that he's been great at. Kind of gave him an opportunity after the other 2 guys have kind of had some miscues up to this point. So, we'll kind of dedicate a little bit more, I think, to one. But there's still a role for all these guys at this point. But somebody needs to really kind of grab the reins and kind of seize the job over. But again, that's on me to make sure that these guys are prepared going into the game and can execute what we want to do.
Have you been looking for that from a guy so far this year to just kind of grab hold of that job, or?
I mean, you'd like to, kind of go with the guy who, if he gets hot and kind of just, seizes the reins there. But there is some schematic stuff to it, and there is, some advantages to kicking more than one, obviously. But like I said, good week of practice with it, but we need to carry this over.
Do you think it's still a situation where you can use all 3 in a game, and in different kind of situations bring out different guys? And do you still want to see that going forward? Is that kind of the ideal situation for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, really don't. Eric's got a bunch on his plate. Eric's, he's got 2 other jobs to do, and then the Sky situation is more for a traditional punter. So that's why Mitch has kind of fitted nicely into that role. And now he's got to get Kyle kind of a little more consistent with what he's doing. So, and obviously the one he kicked last week was a game quality kick that we'd be happy with. But consistency and doing that just over and over again. So good week for him. He's put extra time in this week, which is great to see out of him. And we'll see that on Saturday, hopefully.
Looking at tape, going back to Renard Bell's return, did Daniel, in fact, hold on that play?
Yeah, it's a hold. It's a hold. You wish he doesn't even touch the guy, because I think it doesn't really matter on the outcome of the play, unfortunately. But can't do it. We've talked about that for weeks now, about just being smart and kind of understanding where the return's going and being heads up a football player there. So I think going forward, just let him go and let Renard have to make one guy miss if he has to. So unfortunately, I think that could be a big play for us, kind of start the game off that way.
Last year, Caleb Fossum punt return for a touchdown, Robert Taylor kick return for a touchdown. What do you think the issues have been perhaps in the return game without busting one so far this year? Have you seen anything on tape?
Yeah, really the kick return, that's, if you take out, there was an onside kick return. We probably took 1 or 2 out of the end zone. We probably should have kept in the end zone. We really only had about 10 returns through 7 weeks. And obviously one, if we don't hold them, the one last week, we take 1 for a touchdown. So percentage-wise, that'd probably be, we'd have a different conversation right now. We'd be saying, 1 out of every 10 you take back for a touchdown would be pretty good. But no, they're doing a good job, and they've been progressing overall. But we need to get a good returnable kick and be able to make the most of the opportunity, maximize the opportunity. The punt game, we've actually been, we've sent a lot of pressure, been doing some damage to the shield and splitting shields, not quite getting our hands on punts, which we need to do a better job of that too. We need to get our hands on footballs. But Jamal's been pretty consistent back there, pretty secure back there. But again, we need to do a better job blocking for him and making some shorter plays go for longer yards.